honor guard from Criswell Robinson, post number 71 in Cabot, Arkansas. I'd like to introduce country music star Mark Wills to sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you to our color guard for being here today. Today is Folds of Honor Friday. Folds of Honor is a nonprofit organization that provides life-changing educational scholarships to the spouses and children of America's fallen or disabled military and first responders. Since 2007, they have awarded nearly 62,000 scholarships, totaling about $290 million. Isn't that amazing? That includes 801 all-time academic scholarships valued at $3.67 million just here in Arkansas. We're honored to highlight the importance of Folds of Honor Friday and the impact it has on the families of fallen or disabled American heroes. Today is not possible without Simmons Bank, Stevens Inc., and the PGA Tour. We also thank the Chevy dealers of Arkansas for serving as tournament military partner. I'd like Hunter Bell to come up and say a few words. Hunter?
I just want to thank everybody for coming out and letting us be a part. We're very honored to be a part of the tournament, especially with the Folds of Honor. Didn't know much about it before last year, honestly, but it's an amazing organization. They really help a lot of people. The people they're helping are they're the real ones that we need to, honor. They've sacrificed, so we appreciate it. Thank y'all.
As you're out on the course, you'll notice by the 10th tee is our military headquarters. So military and our veterans get to hang out there and be a part of the tournament right almost ground zero. So thank you to the Chevy dealers. We're honored to have our governor with us today. Please welcome Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Good morning. It is great to be here this morning and to see so many people come out and to be part of the kickoff. I don't know a ton about golf, and no one has asked me to play in this tournament. But what I do know is that I love the way that they start. Very few sporting events start with a prayer and the national anthem and the level of respect for our country that you'll find out here this morning. And so it is an honor to be here. It is an honor to celebrate this event, but more importantly, it's an honor to celebrate our incredible country. I'm so thankful for the men and women who serve, who sacrifice, and what Folds of Honor represents is second to none. Just in the last few years, they've been able to raise nearly $300 million for family members and service members. And $4 million of that has been right here in Arkansas. So what an incredible organization, what great work they do. And I think it's such a testament to the people who help organize and put on this tournament that that's the first thing that they want to do before they really kick it off, is honor the men and women who have given us everything. And so Freddie, thank you for your incredible leadership, what you have brought to Arkansas, what you are representing here. I know George Macris of Simmons is somewhere back over here behind me. And George, what a tremendous thing that you do, and what an incredible person you are. We are so grateful to have people like you and Freddie representing our state and bringing this event here, but mostly we're so grateful that you recognize what is truly important. And so to get to spend a few minutes celebrating our great country, honoring those who have served. I had a chance to celebrate and will continue. I think when you turn 100, you get to celebrate for the entire year of your 100th year. One of my favorite veterans this week, his name is Floyd Brantley. And everywhere you see Floyd, he wears a shirt that says, "Hug a vet, even the old ones." And he always has a smile on his face. And if we could each enter every day with the level of passion and commitment and energy that Floyd does, that's what makes our country so incredible. So thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me play a small role. And I look forward to a great weekend honoring and serving our country. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. We're so grateful to have you leading our state. Thank you for being here. I'd like to introduce Chip Boland, retired Army Special Forces aviator and the Chuters Jump Team narrator. Chip, thank you.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Chip Boland, as he said, from the Chuters Skydiving Demonstration Team, and it is an honor to be here for the second year in a row. Now, somebody asked me just a few minutes ago, well, we're going to do it a little bit differently than we did last year. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of difference that you can make jumping out of an airplane, but we'll see what we can do. Folks, the Chuters is a veteran-owned and veteran-operated skydiving demonstration team that does events like this virtually all over the world, from the battlefields of Normandy to the beaches of the Bahamas, from the stadiums of the NCAA to the greens of the PGA. We've done demonstrations all over the world, and we are thrilled to be here to be a part of this event. It was such a great event last year. Now, I think this is our jump aircraft. If you look high above your head, it's a Cessna 182. It turns in, it is our jump aircraft, and it's flying at about 4,000 feet. We have 3 jumpers today. They're going to get out one at a time. I'll introduce, while we're waiting on the plane, our ground crew. Drop zone safety officer, Ms. Jan Hitchcock. We call her Mom, wave. And also the president of the Chuters and the co-owner, Ms. Yvette Walter. Wave to the crowd, folks. And this is our jump aircraft, I think. Now, as it gets into position, I want to ask you a question. I asked this last year, and you did pretty good. Are you ready to see some free fall parachuting? I think you could do better than that. You did much better last year. So, folks, are you ready to see some free fall parachuting? That's more like it. Now, let's watch. Help me. I can't see the airplane. Can any of you see it? Right over there? Okay. At this time, the jump master is steering the aircraft to his intended release point. That is a point that they determined earlier by dropping wind streamers, and that allows them to guide their canopies for a nice soft landing right here on the fairway. They can go about 20 miles an hour forward speed. They can turn left, turn right. They can slow the rate of descent or speed it up by spiraling in a tight turn. The only direction that they can't go is back up. We say that jumps are optional, but landings are always mandatory. Now, folks, we're going to watch for the first jumper as he exits the plane, if I can see it, because he's going to have smoke attached to his feet. They're a little ways off, so they're turning in. They're going to turn in and fly right up this way. They'll be getting out somewhere around here. Now, it may interest you to know that the first parachute jump recorded was in 1533 by a Frenchman named André Jacques Garneron. He was a balloonist, and he would travel around from fair to fair. He would charge them to see him take off in his hot air balloon and then jump out. The only thing is that André Jacques was somewhat of a swindler. So he would take everyone's money. He would climb up in his balloon to altitude and sail away and never to be seen again. One day they had heard about him, and he collected all the money, and the gendarmes said, we're going to send someone up with you to make sure that you jump. Well, he had a parachute on too, just for safety's sake. And André Jacques climbed up, intending to sail away with the man with the money, but at some point the hot air balloon exploded and smoke was everywhere. They thought that they were certainly going to fall to their death, but here comes André Jacques down in his parachute. They didn't know at the time that you had to have a hole at the top of the parachute to stabilize it. So he was swinging from side to side, and he also became the first man on record that day to break his leg while skydiving. Now I'm looking for the plane. Does anybody see it? I hear it. I do not see it. Oh, there it is. All right, folks, let's watch for the smoke attached to the first jumper's feet as he exits the plane. It should be any second now. As I said, they have to get into the perfect position to let them guide their parachutes back down for a landing. And there's the first jumper. Smoke is on. He's controlling his body with his arms and legs just like a bird, falling through the air. Top speed of 120 miles an hour, followed by jumper number 2, and then jumper number 3. They're a simultaneous opening. Ladies and gentlemen, the high-flying colors of the Chuters. Now they've exited what we call a stack formation, one behind the other and a little bit higher altitude for opening. And they're going to try to get into the perfect sequence so they could land one at a time right here on the fairway. You may notice that they can turn left by pulling their left steering toggle, pulling the right toggle to go right. You may even see them turning in a tight spiral, and that's to lose altitude really quickly. Our first jumper is also the co-owner. He's married to Yvette, co-owner of the Chuters. He's a retired Army Special Forces Lieutenant Colonel Green Beret, with over 7,000 jumps. Former Golden Knight Executive Officer and former commander of the U.S. Special Operations Command Parachute Team, the Paracommandos. Lieutenant Colonel retired Keith Walter. Now Keith is setting up for his pattern just like an airplane at an airport. He'll do a downwind leg followed by a base leg, and when he's intercepted the proper approach angle, he'll make that final 90-degree turn for landing. Now, folks, he can hear you from this altitude, so how about making some noise and let him hear? You want him to land right here. There you go, Keith. Setting up for his downwind leg right now. Turning his base leg. And he'll do a steep 90-degree turn to final. There he is. Welcome him back to earth, Lieutenant Colonel Keith Walter. That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. Our second jumper is new to the team. He's a Navy veteran. He's got over 700 jumps. And he is Mr. Josh Hickok. Josh is setting up for his approach. Hello, Josh. Welcome back to earth. And Josh is going to take it long with that red, white, and blue banner. Whoa, there you go. Our final jumper carrying the Simmons Bank banner is also a retired Army Special Forces Green Beret Lieutenant Colonel with over 4,000 jumps. Ladies and gentlemen, as he turns final for his approach, let's hear it for Lieutenant Colonel retired Keith Handley. Now he's going to bleed off a little altitude before he turns final. And there he goes. Nice landing, Keith. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much. This time, color guard, retire the colors. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, it gives me great pleasure and honor to introduce Lieutenant Colonel retired Dan Rooney. Dan is the founder of Flags of Honor, or Folds of Honor, excuse me, and also PGA National. Is that correct? Oh, you're not retired? No. Lieutenant Colonel, excuse me. Here you go, Dan.
Yeah, let me introduce you. Okay. Thank you, Colonel Rooney, for being here today. Would you please hit the ceremonial first shot of the 2025 Simmons Bank Championship presented by Stevens?
So do you want me to say anything, or do you want me to hit the shot? All right, Tracy says talk first. Number one, thank you everybody for getting up early. What a blessing the good Lord has given us with this gorgeous weather and this opportunity to come together unapologetically. God, country, and the game that we love. Miller's over there from the Champions Tour, a bunch of Champions Tour folks out here, but I'm so excited about all the little kids that are out here this morning as well. So a round of applause for all the little ones who are up with us this morning. So before I hit the first tee shot, I'm going to take you back a long time because I'm 52 as a 12-year-old kid. I met my first fighter pilot. And we all get our military inspiration someplace. And I remember looking at Steve Courtright, call sign Reno, went on to be a 2-star general. And I just said, sir, I can't believe you can be grown up and cool. And he looked back at me and said, yep, you can. And that was the seed that was planted in me for this crazy dream. And I told my dad I want to be a golf professional and a fighter pilot. And for whatever it is, I'm 101 in that category, but I had no idea where God would ultimately call me on the mission that would lead me to just unbelievable pinch yourself moments like today. We started Folds of Honor 18 years ago above our garage in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. It was a calling from the good Lord with nothing. But it is proof that when you're on the right path, God conspires for you. When you do the right thing in life, extraordinary things can happen. This year we awarded just over 11,000 scholarships to heroic military spouses and children and first responders. It's very cool. Last night we kicked off Folds of Honor Week with the National Football League in Los Angeles, and we'll culminate that on October 28th in New York City. And if you remember, we added first responders to the Folds of Honor mission. This is our 3rd year. But on July 28th, there was an active shooter at NFL headquarters, a plague that, we deal with across this country. And in response, Detective Islam got the call, and he went head first, like first responders do, into trouble when everybody else was running away. He lost his life on that day, and we'll be with Roger Goodell, the head of the NYPD, at Precinct 47 to award Detective Islam's 3 children Folds of Honor scholarships. And I know that that's the purity of the mission of Folds of Honor. When hard things happen to military or first responders, not to just say we're sorry, thank you for your service, but to do the most noble thing, and that's to be there to meet that sacrifice with the hope of an education, taking care of those families. And my call to action to everybody before I hit the first shot here is, despite a record year at Folds of Honor with 11,000 scholarships, we had nearly 8,000 qualified, unfunded requests from military and first responder families. And that's why days like today are so important, as we get up early and remind people that freedom is not free, that 911 is dialed every 6 seconds in this country, 240 million times a year. And we have an obligation to take care of these heroic military and first responder families. A huge thanks to Simmons Bank, George, for putting this together. And as I get ready to hit the first tee shot, to bring that moment of synchronicity full circle, when I met Steve Courtwright and would become a golf pro and a fighter pilot, it was 2.5 years ago. I called the commissioner of the PGA Tour, Jay Monahan, and I said, hey, I love my country and I love my game, but it's the only sport that does not observe the national anthem. And we've been on a march the last couple years. Up over 60% of the events on all 3 tours now start with the national anthem. And we're very confident as we head into the 2026 year on the PGA Tour that we'll have 100% participation of tournaments across all 3 tours that start the right way with the national anthem. So my advice to everybody here, especially the young kids, like when God puts something on your heart, when you're inspired, and if you fail to take action, it's meaningless. So this is a beautiful moment. Miller, again, thanks for all the support. Tracy, everything you do for the tour, bringing the national anthem to the game we love. So with that, I'll let the first tee ball fly, and the Simmons Bank Championship will be officially underway. God bless everybody, and God bless the great United States of America.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Dan Rude. Thank you so much for being here. I'd like to introduce, we're lucky today to have PGA Tour Champions President Miller Brady with us today. Miller?
Freddie, thank you. What an amazing morning. I can't think of a better way to start off this event. Thank you all for being here. And really, before we get to the importance of golf, I'd like to recognize an individual who you're probably well aware is retiring at the end of the year. So George Mackers, I know you were called out earlier. If you don't mind stepping up here. You know, George received his PGA Tour card earlier this year, but you can't play on the PGA Tour without a PGA Tour bag. So George, congratulations on your retirement. Thanks for all you've done to bring this event here. We're going to continue for years and years to come. Have a great day, everybody. This is yours, George.
Thanks, everybody, for coming out early this morning. Get out and enjoy some golf. Thank you for being here.